The federal government of Nigeria has announced a shift of the population and housing census earlier scheduled for the end of March to May 2023. According to the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, the decision to move the date was necessitated by the rescheduling of the governorship election, which have now been held. The minister disclosed that the Federal Executive Council has approved a sum of 2.8 billion naira for the National Population Commission to procure software to be used for the conduct of the census. For greater focus, for deeper focus on the postponed headcount and housing census, as well as the political and logistical undercurrents, we're now being joined here on this program by Chief Wale Kalejaiye, who is Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Impulse Technologies Limited. Chief Kalejaiye is a certified data scientist and cloud services practitioner. Chief Kalejaiye, thank you for joining us on this live, the Sunday Talk Show. Well, okay. Many Nigerians are asking the question. We just completed an electoral process that is so controversial, so competitive. Many Nigerians are asking, do we need a census now? It's been shifted from March 29, April 2, to May 3, to May the 7th, almost here. So many Nigerians are saying, do we need census right now? Or will it have been a wise idea to allow the new government to settle in and then maybe find a date for census? What do you think?
Oh, well, you see, the issue of census is a civic duty and is such a key part of every developmental process. And as you know, Ruben, we've had this before. Even the previous census we've had, from 63 census that we had, well, we had one in 62, which was inconclusive. And that gave rise to the census in 63. Now, it was estimated that there was lots of fraud and issues with that census, but we still accepted it. We had one again in 73. That one was not published because of the same reasons, that there was a lot of errors and, political undertones and all that. Then we had one in 1991, and then that was a military regime, which was done by decree. And that result was also not totally acceptable. Then we had a proper census, as it were, in 2006, I believe. And the government declared a figure of 140 million. Now, I will answer the question very, very directly, Ruben. My concern is, have we planned and prepared for this adequately? That is my question. And from what I can see on ground, I don't think so. The awareness is not there. I mean, I read in the last 2-3 weeks that the PDAs for the census was received 100,000 terminals. Come on. 100,000 terminals to deploy to enumerate over 200 people and still counting. How are you going to distribute that? Have we done a geospatial analysis? Have we actually simulated these numbers? Have we done a kind of study to determine how many enumerators we need, how many terminals, over what period, budgets, and all that? And, I mean, we have now come to an era where we do a process and it becomes inconclusive. We just did one, we changed currency, and up till now, we are still in that quagmire where we don't know what is happening. And, we cannot just start a process that we know we will not get to the end, to the finish line. And the census is such an important part of a component of our development that we cannot get it wrong. Otherwise, we'll just waste money, waste time. So, as a data scientist and someone that understands data and data integrity and how to use data, we need more time. We definitely need more time to have this done successfully. That's my answer to you.
Okay, but what the National Population Commission is saying is that it has already carried out what it calls enumeration areas demarcation.
Yes.
Across the country, 774 local governments. The only places where it has problems is in Abadan local government area in Borno State, and also Benengwari in Kaduna State, and some localities in Zamfara State. But as it has done this enumeration demarcation areas, the National Population Commission of Nigeria also claims that it has been able to get the National Orientation Agency to inform Nigerians and do that. Maybe, you don't think that there's been enough in terms of informing and mobilizing Nigerians. And then more importantly, it says it needs about 896 billion
yes.
Naira to be able to do this. The question is, where is that money going to come from? And the MPC has also made it clear that it's expecting some money from the European Union.
Correct.
That the Nigerian government will provide some money. The European Union will also provide part of the money. So this is their argument. They say they are ready. But the bigger question is, will the money come? Are the Nigerian people ready?
Right, Ruben, I've had this before. Yakubu, the INEC boss, told us a few months ago, we are ready. We're going to deploy the device to count results of election from polling units. He said that on video. I repeated that several times, that don't worry, everything is covered, election, we are ready, nothing will be left undone. What happened? So that answers your question. I can see the same thing happening with this census. Now, let me ask a question. How much enlightenment campaign and public awareness has been created? Now, before you can get reliable data, before you can get people to actually come out to get counted and their properties and things and all that enumerated, you need to actually set up yourself as, look, this information is for your own good. And you must tell them why, which is most important. Before any census is done, you must have what is called post-enumeration survey. And you must also have a lot of enlightenment workshops in different languages, localities. I have seen any. I have asked in the rural areas if people have come there, any campaign, any awareness, none. Now, that tells you what data you're going to get. They're going to just come, count in the areas that are easily accessible, and give us a figure. And that is what we want to avoid. We cannot run a country like this. It is irresponsible of us to have a country of this size and don't have data, don't have concise data to work with. How can we develop? And let me also tell you this, Ruben, data is the new oil. I like saying that anywhere you go. Data is the new oil. And we must tap into it. In Europe now, people sell data. Data, you have data mines. People sell data. It's become another source of income. But we are not using ours. We don't even have data. So this is so important. If you don't sensitize the people properly, that tells you the kind of data you're going to get. People are going to get scared and say, oh, you want to tax us. They want to have a tab on my life. They want to know how many houses I have and all that. And because of that, they will shy away from this process.
Okay, but Chief, look, the main argument of the National Population Commission is that the last time we conducted census was 17 years ago. We've been using United Nations estimates to arrive at the number of maybe 212 million
Yes.
that we say is the population of Nigeria. And they are saying 17 years later, Nigeria should conduct a census. And they say that, look, we're going to use technology this time around. They've been boasting about technology, that this should be a technologically driven process. They are also saying that this will be a green census.
Yes.
I don't know what that means. And that green census, technologically driven census, that skeptics like you should give them the benefit of the doubt. And that, 3 days, 4 days, they will be able to fix it.
We are just coming out of an election that promised us the same thing. So how do you want to convince me? We had this promise, hard promise on paper and on video. It didn't happen. And more so, we are now talking of 220 million people or more. So the process here will be far more invasive, much more involving than the election we just had. So why it's so important we get this right is that we're working on guesswork for the past 17 years or more. And we're about to start on that guesswork. Well, what I expect the NPC to do at this stage is to tell us how much awareness campaign they have done. How many, I'll give you an instance. The last 1 week, their site has been down. The website of NPC has been down. You can't access their website. Does that show reliability? I don't think so. So they should tell us what they have done. And we that are experts in data analysis and analytics will assist with information. We'll tell you, okay, let's go this. We can volunteer information. I mean, it's no big deal. Using a device to do enumeration and counting is so easy these days that with the handheld device, it's seamless and it's easy. But the question is that, one, how much training have the guys been given? Secondly, how will it go around? I mean, if you ask me, a simple iPad will do the job. And you can easily get a lot of iPads easily because all you want to do is to set up an API and have a back-end software and a front end. That is it. So any iPad, even a handheld device, can do this job. So far you have the right security in place, you have an end-to-end encryption and all that in place, it will be done. I mean, India does their census almost every 10 years. India is probably times 9 or times 8 of our population. And we have similar circumstances. So why will ours be such a difficult task all the time? That's the question I want to ask. Okay,
you referred to that earlier by quoting the 1962 census,
yes.
1963 census, 1973, 1991, and then 2006. But this National Population Commission that we have now is saying, no, the situation now is different. Ethnicity and religion had always been the problems in the past, majorly. Okay? This time around, MPC of Nigeria is saying ethnicity and religion will not be any of the matters in this enumeration process. Do you think that that gives, a ray of hope, a window of opportunity to have a proper census for the first time?
Thank you for that question. I don't see ethnicity and religion as a big problem this time around. So long as you come out sincerely and let people know why you are doing this process. And that is why it's important to sensitize them adequately before you start the census. So if you say, look, we'll ask for religion and ethnicity for the purpose of data analytics, for the purpose of knowing XYZ, not because of putting you in the segregation or otherwise. No, but it's for planning purposes, for capacity planning. It's for developmental uses. If we inform them ahead of time, I'm sure it will not be like that. But my only concern, which I can share with you, is that this census, if it's done properly, it will now reveal a lot of misgivings ab initio. That, I think, is an area of concern.
Okay, but a bigger area of concern will probably be trust. Many Nigerians no longer trust the Nigerian system. They've gone through an electoral process. They say, oh, INEC is a problem. Security is a problem. They don't even trust the judiciary. What gives you the hope that Nigerians will trust the National Population Commission on the back of a disputed electoral outcome to trust that National Population Commission will do a proper census? That will be different from all the misgivings,
that we've
established misgivings
Okay.
about census.
Now, I also have that same doubt. Even I have those doubts. But on the lighter side, we should let people know that you can actually make money from this census. You can make money from data. Businessmen can actually sell more products when there is data available. Once you do a proper election, you can say, look, apart from the issue of developmental uses, infrastructural development and all that, people can now come to us and buy data. You can say, okay, I want to have a factory selling feeding bottles in Agbara or somewhere. Now, you can ask for the demography and the kind of sub-level information for that kind of business. So you can target and focus your advert campaign on that region. So people can still earn money from this census, from other areas. Taxes will be increased, revenue will be improved. You can then hinge that on better roads, because now government will know how many cars are actually on the roads. They will know how many of them are paying taxes. They will know who is dodging and who is not. So it goes all the way. And we should give ourselves benefits. Again, even though we've been treated the other way before, but if we carry on with the mistrust, it will not end. So, but what I will ask, or what I will beg, is that we should hold the NPC people accountable. And let's say, okay, you know what? You promised us a credible census. You promised to use PDAs, geospatial information you received. You promised to do proper demographic studies, and this, and that, and that, and that. If you don't, what happens? Okay,
we'll see what happens. But the point is very clear. We need data for development. Planning without data is regressive. Planning with data will result in opportunities, economic growth, and all of that. Thank you very much, Chief Wale Kalejaiye, certified data scientist and cloud services practitioner, for joining us on the Sunday talk show, This Is Live.